In a minute, we will start with our prasna. So until then, maybe you want to keep quiet. Om Bhadram Karne Vishnuyam Deva Bhadram Pashyam Akshabhi Yajatraha Sthairaihi Angaihi Tushtavangasastanu Bhumihi Yashyam Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti no Indro Vruddhasravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastakshayo arishtanebi Swasti no bruhatpati dadatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vakpranaschakshuhu Srotramatho Balamindriyani cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahmopanishadam Aham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakaro Nirakaranamastu Nirakaranam me astu Tadatmani Nirataya Upnishatsu Dharmaste Mai Santu Te Mai Santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I hope you all got my little Karika and Mandukya Upnishad mantras table, and I hope that will be helpful to all of you. I want to begin with the last session question, which has created some ambiguity, and I need to remove that first before we move into the slokas. The question was, when I was talking about dual and non-dual, real and unreal, and PJ, I don't see him there today, but he threw the question, in the non-dual, does the Gita also become unreal? And we need to address, actually speaking, we are going there in a few stanzas. However, he asked the question, and I thought we don't want to move with the confusion of that. And therefore, I need to clarify. First of all of the literature we are studying, Upanishads, Gita, Brahma Sutra, Vivek Chudamani, and so forth, they are all collectively called Advaita Vedanta. So you pick up any Upanishad, you pick up Gita, you pick up Brahma Sutra, you pick up anything which is labeled as Advaita Vedanta, the theme of that is to logically lead you into Advaita. Gita is not an exception. Actually speaking, we repeatedly said Advaitam Rutavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadasadhyayinim Amba Kamanusandadami Bhagavad Gita. Same thing about all the Upanishads. But about the Gita, there is another sloka. Sarva Gavo, Sarva Upanishad Gavo Dugdva, Gopala Nandana. આ બધા ઉપનિષદોની ગાય, milking them all. Sri Krishna created the Gita. We also said that 6, and 6, 18 chapters, they are broken into Tattvamasi. That message is already there. But we want to really touch today the Gita thing in a couple of stanzas, not too much deep. Arjuna, in a few stanzas from Sri Krishna, came back to his Kshatriya spirit. And look at how he exposed his Kshatriyism. He asked the question, and the question was, Sthita pragnasya ka bhasha. The first question he is asking, but what a potency in the stanza. By touching the Mandukya, now you will realize how much potency Gita is carrying. Sthita pragnasya ka bhasha. રથમાં ખૂણામાં બેસી ગયેલો હતો ને હવે પૂછવા બેઠો. સ્થિત પ્રજ્ઞસ્ય કા ભાષા. સમાધિસ્થસ્ય કેશવ. કિમાસિત કિમ બ્રવેત. કા ભાષાનો મીનિંગ એવો નથી કે એની લેંગ્વેજ શું હતી. Ka Bhasha is translated as, what is the characteristic of a Sthita Prajna guy? That is what he is asking. And look at, in the Gita discourses, I did not use the phrase atomic bomb, but the answer from Sri Krishna is an atomic bomb after touching this Mandukya. Prajahati kaman. Prajahati kaman sarvan partha manogatan. He doesn't stop at Prajahati kaman. કોઈ બીડી ના પીવાની એવી બાધા લે પણ સાંજે દારૂ પીએ પાછો. એટલે એને મૂકેલું છે એની અંદર પ્રજાહાતિ કામાન સર્વાન. સર્વાન મનની અંદરથી બધી ઈચ્છાઓ કાઢી નાખે. અને હવે જોયું હવે how it is gonna parallel with Mandukya. મનમાંથી જ્યારે ઈચ્છાઓ જતી રહે ત્યારે મનનું અસ્તિત્વ ક્યાં છે? There is no mind. ગીતાની બિગિનિંગ જ આવી રીતે થાય છે કે there is no mind. In the Turiya Avastha, there is no mind. The faculty which is going to judge whether Gita is real or not is not there. It is not there. How would you know whether it is real or not real? So PJ's question answer is it is a moot point. Moot, M-U-T-E, moot point. Because the judging faculty mind is not there. This is the beginning of the Gita. Mandukya also goes parallel. The following stanzas in the Gita says, how would you know that all the desires are gone and the mind is vacuum or there is no mind? How would you know? So there is a second stanza in the Gita. Dukkeshu anudvigna manaha. Oh. એણે એમ નહીં કહ્યું કે દુઃખમાં રડે નહીં. એણે એવું કહ્યું, જરા જેન્ટલ ભાષામાં કહ્યું, અન ઉદ્વિગ્ન મના. દુઃખમાં પડી ગયેલો ચહેરો ના હોય એનો. માઇલ્ડ ભાષામાં કહ્યું. સુખે સુ વિગત સ્પૃહ. અને સુખના દાડા આવ્યા હોય તો ઠન ઠન નાચી નહીં ઉઠે. પછી આગળ શું કહે છે? Look at all this dvandva going on. Dukkha and then sukha. Now another dvandva coming. Vitaraga bhaya krodha. Bhai krodh. વરાળ થઈ ગયેલું હોય એને ભય નહીં. So this is the test that the mind has gone. I would not go much into this from the Gita. We have already done the Gita, but one of the deliberate reasons why I wanted to bring Gita here is I wanted to bring it from the angle of Mandukya. Mandukya has the straightforward language. And there is a huge stanza coming when it will enter into Turiya to show what happens there. And then PJ's question would be more appropriate. He will see the answer more elaborately. It is coming. I said in the beginning, and this is a little bit of funny, excuse me, PJ. I said in the beginning that as soon as we will start a couple of stanzas of Mandukya, the mind will run away. But PJ's mind did not run away. Would take a little bit of time. Will take stronger dose of Mandukya stanzas. And he will see his mind has run away. If his mind has run away, There would have been no such question now. But that's okay. I'm delighted. That's perfectly all right. It is not a criticism, but it is the observation which I have made over many years after studying this Mandukya, that some mind would run away in 2 stanzas, some mind would take maybe 20 stanzas. That's perfectly okay. There is no gold medal for sooner to remove the mind. That's okay. That's perfectly okay. Not a problem. So that much I wanted to say about the dual and non-dual, the real and unreal. The dual and non-dual, we have to remember that for the non-dual, there is no mind. Because it says, the language says, no dual, no second. Mind has no room. I would highly recommend, because this is not an academic class. This is a live experimental. You have to experience yourself. And the best way to follow this Mandukya, after we finish the session, maybe you might want to go through 2 or 3 scorching stanzas again and hit the brain. Brain will slowly start melting like a cube of ice. And you will not know if you are in the right process. And this is not written in any book, anywhere. That is one of the problems. બુદ્ધને લોકો પૂછી પૂછીને થાકી ગયા. એટલે ભાઈ શું જોયું તે જરાક તો કે શું જોયેલું? કારણ કે એ બુકમાં નથી. એણે હિન્ટ આપેલી છે. Follow the path. The simple path of Mandukya. And it is coming here, but I am running a little bit ahead of the game. Is keep watching the mind and see the reaction it is getting from the stanzas we are running into Mandukya. See. There would be a point when the mind will roaringly speak out. Oh, definitely અહીંયા મારું કામ નથી. Definitely. That will be the beginning. Just continue. Stay lonely in a room somewhere with closed doors. There is an infinite ocean line, and you will see he is your neighbor. Neighbor ને વળી કોણ ની ઓળખે? He is your neighbor. So we stop and you can follow our small table. I email you in the WhatsApp. I hope all the lines came aligned, because WhatsApp somehow mess up the lines. And it is better to email it to your ID in PC and then try to print it on a printer. Probably would come out okay. But in there, if I can see my table, the first column has the stanzas for Mandukya and Karika, because they alternatively are there. And then I have listed the third column, which is like how many individual stanzas you are doing one at a time. And the last one is how many total of each you have done so far. So we have done fourth stanza of the Karika. So we are going to fifth stanza now of Karika. Yatra suptaha na kanchan kamam kamayate. ચોથાની અંદર સ્વપ્નાવસ્થાની વાત કરી હતી એણે, અને હવે પાંચમાની અંદર એ સુષુપ્ત અવસ્થાની વાત કરે છે, ગાઢ નિંદ્રા. Want to make sure, are you in fifth stanza of the Karika? I want you not to be confused because of the order in the first chapter. Are you all with me? You have yatra suptaha na kanchan kamam kamayate, the first line. All of you have that line? No? All of you have? Just want to know, at least from few, that all of you are with me. Yatra suptaha na kanchan kamam kamayate. Na kanchan swapnam pashyati tat sushuptam. Sushupta sthana eki bhutaha pradana dhana. Eva anandamayaha. He ananda book. Chetaha mukhaha. Pragnaha trutiyaha pada. He is describing what happens in the third quarter. There are 4 quarters, and in each of the quarter, he is an observer. You don't know that. What you are dreaming, he sees that. When you are sleeping, he watches you. And when you are in Jagrata Avastha, he also knows what you are doing or what you are enjoying or what is your function going on. So this is the third quarter he is talking about. There is the deep sleep. The entire consciousness is there. However, you don't know that because it has coiled down. So you don't know that. This is the third avastha. So you know the first line he says, Yatra suptaha na kanchan kamam kamayate. એટલે તો એ સુષુપ્ત અવસ્થામાં કોઈ ઈચ્છા થતી નથી. kamam kamaya. Na kanchan swapnam pashyati tat susuptam. Swapno e nahi aave, no dream. Because the entire consciousness is totally coiled down. That is the deep sleep thing. The translation goes like this. That is the state of deep sleep, wherein the sleeper does not desire any objects, nor does he see any dream. જે ફર્સ્ટ અને સેકન્ડની અંદર છે જાગ્રત અવસ્થા અને નિંદ્રા I mean સ્વપ્નાવસ્થા તે અહીંયા નથી. The third quarter is the prajna whose sphere is deep sleep, in whom all experiences become unified or undifferentiated, who is verily a homogeneous mass of consciousness, who is full of bliss because there are no thoughts. So no miseries are there, and no miseries is also one kind of bliss. Who is the very gateway for the projection of consciousness into the other two planes of consciousness, the dream and the waking. It is the boundary of the Jagrat Avastha and the Swapna Avastha. So he has thus talked about the three stages, the three quarters. What does he say in the sixth one here? Eshah sarveshwarah, eshah sarvagna, eshah antaryami, eshah yonihi sarvasya prabhavah. Apiyau hi bhutana. Now he's clarifying a little bit, going stepwise a little further, but in a gentle fashion so far, because this is coming from Gaudapad. He has some mercy. He is going with a gentle fashion. He enthusiastically spoke out in the first line, Esha sarveswara, esha sarvagna, esha antaryami, esha yonihi sarvasya prabhava, yohi bhutana. આગળથી જાણે કહી દીધું, from the beginning now, or for the preparation. This is the Lord of all. This is the knower of all, Sarvagna. This is the inner controller, Eshaha Antaryami, inner controller. And then further he says, this is the source of all. And this is that from which all things originate and which they finally dissolve themselves. The origin and dissolution is also in the same He. So after talking about the three quarters, he has a little bit more given introduction to hold on, I hope I have not messed up. Just wanted to check it out a little bit, because the Karika and No, I think we are okay. We are okay. The only thing is uh, we did the 6 stanzas of the 6 stanzas of the Mandukya. We didn't do Karika. Now the Karika begins here. So sorry about that. I thought we are into Karika, but we were in Mandukya. So now after the 6 stanzas of Mandukya, we are going into Gaudpad's Karika. So sorry about that. It is that the label was wrong here. So are you with me now, slope-wise? It's a little bit of, that is why I send you the table, but even though, because there is not a serial number here, the Karika comes and then Mandukya comes and so forth kind of thing. So sorry about that, little bit of confusion, but now we are on the right path. So now remember now, after 6 stanza of Mandukya, we are in the first stanza of Karika. So please find out that it begins with Bahispragna Vibhuhu Viswaha. And please go to that stanza, which is Gaudapad glossary begins. And that is the first stanza. Are you with me now, all of you? Please want to know about that. I don't want to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read Gaudapad's glossary, and that is the first stanza after completing 6 stanza of Mandukya. Bahis pragnaha vibuhu vishwahi antaha pragnaha tu tejasaha dana pragna tatha pragna eka eva trida smrutaha. Before he has explained where these 3 stages, how they occur, what are the characteristic and all that. In this stanza, he is explaining that the last line, Eka eva trida smrutaha. In all the 3 stages, he is the one alone who is thus known as 3. So what he is saying is in all the 3 quarters, he was the one in the 3 different planes of consciousness. So he was not a different thing. He was the same supreme who was moving from one quarter to another quarter. So a little clarifying thing. So Gaudapad is going to give us some summary of the 6 stanzas we have done so far, the 6 stanzas of the Mandukya. This is another confusion coming. When I see this second stanza, third stanza, and the 4th stanza. So we stop at the 4th stanza. Okay. You are at the 2nd stanza of Gaudapad. Actually, we have done that last time. We are unnecessarily went back. The 2nd stanza is done. The 3rd one, Visvo hi stula bhung nityam. Ye stanza pan karelo. And the fourth one, Sthulam Tarpayate Vishwam. That stanza was also done. So we actually stop at this stanza last time. We unnecessarily went back a little bit, but that's okay. It's a repetition. So actually we have to start with fifth stanza here. Trishu dhamasu yad bhajyam bhokta yatcha prakirtitaha Veda etad ubayam yahatu saha bunjanaha nalipyati. What he is saying that one who knows both the experiencer is bhokta, then bhajyam, experienced, just as they have been described so far as associated with the three states of consciousness. He is not at all affected even when he is experiencing the respective objects of the three states. So what he is clarifying, that even in those three states, Jagrat, Swapna, and Gard and Nindra, the deep sleep, even though he is moving with whatever is bhojyam and bhokta, the something which is for enjoyment, and the one who is enjoying, he is not. He is totally unattached, even though he watches everything, but he is unattached from all those things. Now we are into sixth stanza. 6 and 7 is a little bit of deviation. What he is going to do is those days, whatever the people believe, oh, how this world is created, different logic, different philosophy was going on. So he's going to give in a couple of stanza what kind of philosophy was going on. And in the third stanza, which is eighth stanza, he is going to give counter argument that they are both wrong. So let's see what the 6 and 7 says. Prabhavaha sarvabhavanam satam ite vinishchayaha sarvam janayati pranas chetong shun purushaha prittak. What does he say? It is well established that something can come out as an effect only from a cause that is existent. The prana manifests all insentient things the Purush creates separately, the conscious being, the egos in their manifold forms. He's all going mouthful here. What he's saying in a simple language is there are people that they think that this world has been created out of the glory of God. Others say that from the prana, the insentient means inert material came, and from the consciousness, the Atman came. These are what the other people think. That is what he's bringing just as a background, how the things progressed those days. Then another kind of people, they say different thing. What do they say? Vibhutim prasavam tvanye manyante srushti chintaka. Srushti chintaka. Srushti chintaka is a great phrase here. What he says is, Jane સૃષ્ટિ કેવી રીતે ઉત્પન્ન થઈ છે એ વિચારવાનું સૂજે છે, તેનું નામ સૃષ્ટિ ચિંતકા. સ્વપ્ન માયા સ્વરૂપ ઇતિ સૃષ્ટિ અન્ય હે વિકલ્પિતા. Some creationists believe it to be the projection of the glory of God. That is the first line. While the others consider the world to be of the same nature as dream or illusion. And the other different kind of thinkers, he is not saying that this is what I think. What he thinks is coming in stanza number 8. But what the others are saying, that is what he has said in 6 and 7. We don't have to worry about those, what the others are saying. But now he is going to hit hard those people. Icha matram prabho srushtiriti srashto vinishchitaha kalat prasutim bhutanam manyante kala chintakaha. Very bija creationist, they attribute the manifestation to be caused by mere will of God. Abija theorist aiva. While there are others who, looking upon time as real, declare that time is the cause for the manifestation. So there are different theories going on here. How he cut down those people is like this. Bhogartham srushtihi ati anye kridartham iti cha apare. Some people think that he is kridarthe, means just for his own enjoyment. Devasya esha svabhavam ayam aptakamasya kaspruha. This is the line extremely important. He says, we just would pay attention to the second line. Devasya eshaha. Devasya means of the Lord. Eshaha ayam, this creation. Devasya eshaha svabhavaha ayam aptakamasya kaspruha. What does it mean? It is the very nature of the effulgent being, the Atman. And then he argues, for what desire is possible for him, whose desires are always in a state of perfect fulfillment? He doesn't have to create for his own fun. He has a complete Anand there. He's totally fulfilled. He doesn't have to create for any reason. So he is then going to come and argue that it was not created like the bombardment theory and all those physics theory. He's going to argue he was always there. All this creation was always there. That is an unbelievable thing. Now Karika is over. Mandukya enters. So now we are on a right path. So from this on, we will remember where we are. We did 6 stanza of Mandukya. And then Gaudapad entered and he did 9 stanzas, which you can see in the table also. After the 6 Mandukya, the 9 Karikas. So you can see that verify in the table as well. Now Mandukya is coming, and in the table it says there is only one stanza, 7 stanza. So there is only one stanza. A 7 stanza ni andar. He is going to say, okay, there were 3 quarters and he was there as a witness. Is he the real one, that one of 3? Or no, yeah, we haven't got the real one yet. So that this is the stanza to clarify that not those 3. He observed there, but he is not the real one there. He is observing. He is only an observer. So he is now saying, Na antaha pragnaha. It is not that which is conscious of the internal subjective world. Na antaha pragnam. Na bahis pragnam. Not bahis pragnam. Nor that which is conscious of both. Nor that which is conscious of the external world. So the first is na antaha pragna, means not internal, not swapnavasthake, not garden indra, na bahis pragnam, nor this outside world. Na ubhayataha pragnam, બંનેનું એકી સાથે ભેગું કરે તેવું એ નથી. ન પ્રજ્ઞા ન ધનમ ન પ્રજ્ઞમ ન અપ્રજ્ઞમ. So here he is saying, in how many things he is not there in the first 3 lines. Then in the last 3 lines, he will say where he is. So let me read the translation and then you will catch the meaning of this stanza. It is not that which is conscious of the internal subjective world, nor that which is conscious of the external world, nor that which is conscious of both, nor that which is mass of consciousness, nor that which is simple consciousness, nor is it unconsciousness. Every time we have to give the explanation by negation. We cannot put the hands directly. It is unseen by any sense organ. So this is the real introduction coming. Beyond empirical dealings, incomprehensible by mind, uninferable, unthinkable, indescribable, essentially of the self alone, negation of all phenomena, the peacefully auspicious and the non-dual. This is what is known as the 4th Turiya. This is the Atman and this is to be realized. Okay, how is he defining Turiya? First, he is rejecting that he is not in one of those 3 locations, the 3 quarters. And then after describing he is not there, so now we know he is not the characteristic of one of the 3. But in the last 3 stanzas, he is in a negative fashion. He is not this, he is not that, he is not this. He is giving the hint, but he is not completely giving the definition. It is not a definition. It is just saying that he is not there, he is not there, he is not there. And from there we have to sort of, by meditation, think about what is and where is he. It's a little bit of a difficult task, but that is how uh, we are moving now. Let's see, where are we here? This is again, there's a lot of confusion. Okay. So the seventh stanza we just did now, it says it is from Mandukya Upnishad. So it is a seventh stanza from Mandukya Upnishad. I didn't mention that, but now I caught. So after seventh, he's coming back to Karika. But you know that we have done 9 stanza of Karika. So this is the 10th stanza of Karika. Are you with me now? Sorry about this. First chapter is going to be like zigzag like this. But now on, we will be very careful. So if you remember, we have done 9 stanza of the Karika. This is the 10th stanza. 10th stanza. So the 7th stanza before was from Mandukya. Okay. What does he say in the Karika of the 10th stanza? Nivrutte sarva dukkhanam ishanah prabhuhu avyayah advaitah sarva bhavanam devaha turyaha vibhuhu smrutaha. What does he say in this Karika, this 10th sloka? In that which is indicated as the changeless and the Supreme Lord, there is a total cessation of all miseries. What happens in that state? That is what he's saying. There is that is also in the Gita. Dukkeshu anudvigna manaha. He said there also. And here he says, Nivrutte sarva dukkhana mishana. In that which is indicated as the changeless and the Supreme Lord, there is a total cessation of all miseries. There is no miseries. It is the one without a second among the plurality. It is known as the Turiya, the ever effulgent and all pervading. So this is the 10th stanza of the Karika. And I would stop here. We will remember that we are at the 10th stanza of the Karika. I'm going to make a mark on my page so I do remember that where I'm stopping. I'm stopping at stanza number 10 of the Karika. And you can also clip the page or something in your book so we hit the same slope together. And I will stop here, and then I may take a couple of questions, and after that we will have prarthana. So if anybody has any, today we went through a little bit of zigzag kind of thing, so sorry about that confusion, but next time that confusion would not happen. I have put the clip on the page of that sloka where we are stopping. So we are okay now. We learn the lesson. Okay, if anybody has any Any question, confusion, whatever, please feel free to clarify. It has been a little bit of a rough road because of that intermingling of the Karika and Mandukya kind of thing. But now on, we should be okay. Don't worry about that now anymore. No question? Nobody want to ask anything? Then we will go to Prasna, and then I will shut the recording and all that kind of thing. Okay, so we are going to closing Prasna.
Hold on 1 minute, sir. PJ,
Who is this?
PJ બોલતો છું સાહેબ મારો વિડિયો નથી ચાલતો કઈ લોચા પડેલા જ ને કહ્યું લાસ્ટ ટાઈમ પણ.
Okay, what do you want to ask?
Advait, one side is Advait, and Advaitma Shankaracharya said that it is all kind of dream. The life is like a dream, you know, and સાચું માનવાની જરૂરિયાત નથી. We don't have to believe it is real, you know. So starvation for liberation, a dreaming situation છે.
No, I need to a little bit understand your question. What did Shankaracharya?
Shankaracharya કહ્યું છે કે ભાઈ, I'm sorry, you know, apology, you know, please. I was talking Gujarat, though, you know.
No, Shankaracharya, talk in any language you want to.
Shankaracharya કહ્યું છે કે જીવન એ રિયલ જીવન છે એ સપનાવત સ્થિતિ છે. તો આપણે જે કાયમ જ મુક્તિને માટેની ને બધી જે વાતો કરીએ એ સપનાવત વસ્તુ જ છે. Should we try for that or not? કારણ કે તો ultimately if it is સપનાવત, so why should we try that?
No, the non-dual Brahman, and actually speaking, you are running ahead of the game. This is all coming. So far, we have not yet made the founding stone. હજુ તો આપણે પાયાનો પથરો મૂકી રહ્યા છે. We have
I will wait.
Put the foundation stone yet. But I will address your issue. But this is all coming in Mandukya. Slowly, he's building up. And one of the style of Gaudapad, there would be a lot of repetition. The 6 stanzas, 7 stanzas we have done of the Mandukya, they were very terse. They were like a hard rock kind of thing. But Gaudapad would explain. Okay, let me go back to your question. There are 2 words, Dvait and Advait. And Dvaitમાં plurality છે. એક કરતા વધારે માણસો દેખાય, કાર દેખાય, બિલ્ડિંગ દેખાય, कुर्सी, टेबल, घर, फर्नीचर, ये द्वैत है. Within the Dvait, whatever the entire Brahmand જે દેખાય છે, નજરમાં દૂરબીનથી, નજરથી, whatever. That gross, behind that gross picture is the subtle thing. That subtle is not visible. That is a problem. In order to perceive that subtle, Advait recommends that you remove your mind. And the reason is all this plurality is generated by mind. Once you remove the mind, the plurality will be gone. And you will ask me a question, what is the proof? The proof is when you are Jagrat, means when you are awake, you know કે સ્વપ્નમાં વાઘે તમને ફાડી કાઢેલા પણ અત્યારે જીવતા છો. So you have the proof of swapna that was not real. The same way when you will be in Turiya someday, when you will be in a different plane, you will see all this plurality gone. There is no Vag. But the dilemma is you have yet not gone into Turiya. And that is why you are asking me, what is the proof?
I'm not asking you proof.
No.
My problem is different. You know, I'm confused little bit here from very beginning. एक बाजू, if you are talking of Advait, you know, एक बाजू, and जो शंकराचार्य कहता है कि whatever is visible, the gross, you know, whole world, it is a kind of, you know, dream, you know. So if it is dream, then why to worry about being a Ram or Ravan, Duryodhan or Yudhishthir, you know, because it is ultimately it is dream, you know. Why should we worry about that? My confusion આટલું જ છે સાહેબ, બીજું કઈ નથી confusion. Both are. જો પેલું છે તો પેલું નથી.
It is not confusion.
No, not in your mind. It is in my mind, sir. You know.
Yeah, it is in your mind. It is in everybody's mind. And I'm not going to boast, but it is not in my mind. Because I'm not speaking from the books.
નહીં તમારે નથી, એ તો guaranteed છે. નહીં તો આવી રીતે તમે બોલી જ નહીં.
I'm not speaking from the books. I'm not even prepared when I come here to speak. It is so simple thing. One of the amazing fear that occurs is the entire earth vanishes. First, it vanishes. It is not there. And you will feel like, where in the world it is gone. It's not for literary discussion. And the reason behind not literary, because it is not in the literature and the people have tendency to verify through literature. No. Verify yourself. Verify yourself. Verify yourself. One of the reasons Vivekananda was roaringly spent the whole of his life તો જરાક તો પ્રયત્ન કરો. But he left when he was only 38. There is an amazing another world, and this is not hypothetical. This is not hypothetical. I have to tell you one thing. You have the intensity going parallel to Ram Krishna. He was arguing with Bhairavi. I cannot move Kalima. Whenever I go in dhyan, I just see her. She doesn't go away. And you have similar thing. Oh, but I see this thing. What am I going to do? Bhairavi Brahmani took a piece of glass and hit in the forehead here. And then he went into Samadhi for 6 months, not one day. Somebody should come out there in Clarksville, PJ, and take a piece of sharp glass and hit in your forehead. Why would I like somebody to hit in your forehead with a piece of glass? Because going into dhyan is not for everybody. One way it is for everybody, no discrimination. But they are not ready. They are not ready. They are not ready. If they were, so ઘણા બધા inspirational, there are a lot of inspirational human beings, the great human beings came. Millions of people went to Pondicherry. If a single person out of millions that went to Pondicherry have realized the Supreme, I would lose any bet. Do you think it is for everybody? One way it is for everybody. Samosmi sarvabhuteshu namedveshyasti na priyaha. હું બધાને માટે સરખો છું. પણ જેના મનમાં એક તણખલા જેટલું એક કચરું હશે તો એ નથી આવવાનો. એ નહીં આવે. એ તો બહુ પાકો. એ તો તમારા મનના ખૂણામાં શું છે ત્યાંય બેઠેલો. કેમ કરીને એની પાસે જવાના તમે? These sessions I'm conducting is absolutely not for academicians. That is why there are millions of such sessions are going on. How many of them survive? How many of them bring any effective result? Very impossible. We are humbly meeting here. We are humbly trying here. We are humbly seeking His grace. આપણે એને કહેવું પડે છે કે અમે બુદ્ધિ વગરના છે. આપણે બીજા હ્યુમન બીઈંગ ને તો ના કહીએ કારણ કે ઈગો છે અંદર એટલે ના કહીએ કે અમારામાં બુદ્ધિ નથી એવું ના કહેવા જોઈએ. પણ એને ખાનગીમાં ખૂણામાં કોઈ નહીં સાંભળતું હોય, કારણ કે ઈગો તો રહેવાનો, એટલે કોઈ નહીં સાંભળતું હોય, ત્યારે તો કહેવાય અમારામાં બુદ્ધિ નથી. અને that is true. I'm not joking here. અને અડધી રાતે જાગો, સવારમાં જાગો, રાતે બ્લેન્કેટ ખેંચો, એને સતત કયા કરો તમે, તું એટલું યાદ રાખજે કે અમારામાં બુદ્ધિ નથી. અને જોજો, જો ઓનેસ્ટલી જો કહ્યું હશે તમે, ઓનેસ્ટલી, એ બુદ્ધિનું પડીકું લઈને આપી જશે તમે. અને મિનિંગ ઓફ બુદ્ધિ, બુદ્ધિ મીન્સ ક્લેરિટી. અને હવે ક્લેરિટીનો મારે મિનિંગ કેવો છે. કોઈ એક ગાઢ દઈ દે તમને, અને એમાં તમને તમારું ભલું દેખાતું હોય, તો માનજો કે ઈશ્વરે તમને બુદ્ધિ આપેલી છે. તમને વાગતી નથી કા, ઈશ્વરે તમને બુદ્ધિ આપેલી છે. અને એમ કરતા કરતા રોજ જવાનું એની પાસે, એક દાડો થોડું જવાનું. એ 24 કલાક ચોંટેલો છે તમારી સાથે. એ અત્યાર સુધીમાં તો જોયું આપણે માંડુક્યમાં, એ તો 24 કલાક ચોંટેલો. અરે તો તમે થોડાક તો ચોંટો એને. અને ખૂબી એ છે, ખૂબી મજા આવી જશે, રિયલી મજા આવી જશે ચોંટવામાં. ઓ, અને એની સાથે તો બહુ ફ્રેન્ડલી વાત કરી શકો, બહુ અતિશય ફ્રેન્ડલી વાત કરી શકો. એ તૈયાર છે તમને સાંભળવા, એ કાન માંડીને બેઠેલો છે. કોઈ એવું ના વિચારશો કે અમૃતભાઈમાં થોડું ગાંડપણે છે. એ સંસ્કૃત જાણે છે, સ્ક્રિપ્ચર જાણે છે, પણ સમટાઈમ he moves ગાંડપણના ઝોનમાં જતા હોય એવું લાગે. જે માનવું હોય તે માનજો તમે, પરંતુ આ સેશન સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલ બાબતની ચાલે છે, અને એ સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલ પ્લેનમાં જ રહેવું જોઈએ, માત્ર એકેડેમિક બુક્સની અંદર ના રહેવું જોઈએ. બુક્સની બહાર નીકળીને આવવું જોઈએ, એવું મારું માનવું છે. Vijay, are you there or gone? Vijay?
I'm here, sir.
Oh,
I'm listening you.
did you get any substance so far?
Not yet. I will be very honest with you. Not yet. જે અર્જુનને જે તકલીફ હતી તે મારે તકલીફ છે. So I will keep on asking you.
ના, પણ જરા તરા ખાઈશું કે નહીં? ત્યાંનું ત્યાં જ સ્ટક થયેલું છે કે જરી તરી કઈ ખસતું નથી?
So far, yes, I'm stuck. So far. But I have hope that I will get the answer. I am very much hopeful and I have faith in you that I will get my answer, I will bother you, as much as I can, but that is only to get my, confusion clear,
But we shouldn't bother anybody. We shouldn't bother anybody. We should.
I'm not bother. When I say bother means, I'm trying to find my question, answer to my question,
I admire your honesty and clarity of your question.
ખોટું ખોટું માંથી હાર નથી કહેવાનો સાહેબ. એટલે એ તો બીજા ગીતાના સેકન્ડ અધ્યાયથી શરૂઆત થયેલી. જો અર્જુન પહેલેથી સમજી ગયો હતો એને ખબર પડી ગયો તો પતી ગયો હતો 2 અધ્યાયમાં જ સાહેબ. ગીતા 18 અધ્યાય થયા સાહેબ.
એ તો એવું કઈ નથી, એ તો 18 અધ્યાય 18 વખત વાંચે તોય નહીં સમજણ પડે.
નહીં ખબર પડે. ખરી વાત છે તમારી, ખરી વાત.
એમાં બગડી શું ગયું?
નહીં, આપણી સમજવાની વાત નથી, એ તો અર્જુને સમજવાનું હતું. અર્જુનને ખબર પડી કહેવાનો મતલબ, આપણે તો એને એ લોકોએ જે વાત કરેલી તે સાંભળતા છે, વાંચતા છે. પણ અર્જુન જે who was involved in that, and he was, he had his answers, કારણ કે 10th અધ્યાયમાં બી એને બધી વિભૂતિઓ કહી પોતાની. તોય અર્જુને કહ્યું કે ભાઈ તમારી બધી જ વાત સાચી, આ તો બધી તમે કહેતા છો, મેં થોડી અનુભવી. Still there was a question even after listening everything from him,
તો પછી કરીશ્ય વચનમ તવ એવું કોણ બોલેલું?
અમને આપણે વધારે ડિટેલમાં નથી જોવું સાહેબ.
નો તો પછી કરીશ્ય વચનમ તવ એવું બોલેલું?
મને ખબર નથી. Alright.
Then you need to go back and reread the Gita.
I will, I will.
Yeah, I hope.
I apologize to all others, that I took away your time,
I am trying from my own boundary, which does not possess any magical or mystical stick. So we are also moving in a logical fashion here. And it's going to happen definitely that some of you may be very dissatisfied. Some of you do not get the material that you are looking for yourself, for your spiritual sadhana. But that is perfectly okay. And I don't want to turn into a hypocrite and go beyond what I can do. So anyhow, let's do this closing prayer. You have any question?
Amritbhai, when you said that we should get out of the mind, get rid of the mind, I just remembered something that Narsi Mehta said, જાગીને જોઉં તો જગત દિશે નહીં. Does that convey a similar idea? Getting
yeah.
out of the mind?
He was one of the beauty of Narsi Mehta. He was both a dual and non-dual
Yeah.
philosopher. And the reason is, it is for us we misunderstand that he was in duality also. But actually in duality, when Sri Krishna became Govadiyo, cowherd boy, to show it to his in-laws, he didn't see him as Rabari.
Right.
He saw him as the supreme, all-pervading. So when we read the story, we misunderstand. We think that, oh, he was believing both in duality and non-duality. Otherwise, he would not have sung Akhila Brahmandama Ekatu Sri Hari. એને તો એક તું શ્રીહરિ નોન ડ્યુઅલ જ જોઈ લો એને. એટલે એવું નથી કે આ એકલા ચોપડા છે, પણ એ ચોપડામાં લખેલું એ જોનારા હતા. આપણે વિચાર કરવાનું કે ત્યાં જવાના છે, નથી જવાના તો આપણા ચોપડા બંધ કરીને ચાદર ઓઢીને સુઈ જાઓ. પણ આપણે જોવું છે તો ધીરું 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 બને એટલો પ્રયત્ન કરતા જાઓ, બને એટલો. એમાં કોઈ ટોર્ચરનું કામ નથી, એમાં કોઈ બળજબરીનું કામ નથી. ધીરું 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 ધીરું. You gave a very good example. Same thing you might see in Mirabai. Same thing in any bhakta you take. The non-duality has the supremacy, but on the surface it appeared as dual, but there was no dual.
Right.
And once વિવેકાનંદે કહેલું તેમ તિરાડમાંથી એ નોન ડ્યુઅલ ને એક વખત જોઈ જશે, પછી એ પાછો નહીં હટે, પછી એ પાછો નહીં હટે. એમ આપણે જરાક તિરાડમાં એ જોઈ લઈએ એકવાર. That will be more than enough for us, I think.
Thank you.
We can go for the prayers here. And as I said last time, the last line, Diyo yo naha prachodaya. Amne buddhi aap. એટલા માટે જ મેં આ શ્લોક મૂકેલો છે આખો. ઓમ ભૂર્ભુવઃ સ્વઃ તત્સવિતુર્વરેણ્યં ભર્ગો દેવસ્ય ધીમહિ ધિયો यो नः प्रचोदयात्. And the second one is about Advait. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So thank you very much, all of you. And if you have no more question, I will close the recording. Is there anyone who still has anything in the mind? If you don't, I'm going to shut off the recording.
Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, I'm shutting the recording.
Okay.